Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. A little bit less, I think.
Make it a little less.
Comfortable. So we're very, very ecstatic and honored to be here at the lotus feet of Sri Sri Krishna Balaram. And we have Prabhupada's picture somewhere?
Yes.
No. The lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, and be with all of the devotees of Tiruvananthapuram. So we're very, very ecstatic and very happy to be here with you all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
This was a typical Keralite tune you were singing, Hare Krishna mantra, I never heard before.
It's a normal.
I never heard before. Sounded like something from South India. So anyway, we'll begin with a very beautiful Brij Bhasa song that will take us all to Braj. And if you're getting signal here, first of all, put all your devices on silent. Otherwise the babies cry in the middle of the lecture. But if you're getting signal, then you can look up Braja Jana Mana. Braja Jana Mana Sukha Kari. Otherwise, you'll learn the refrain. It's very easy. It'll come to you in 2 seconds. Shri Radhe Brajajana Manna Sukha Kari Radhe Shama Shama Sham Radhe Brajajana Manna Sukha Kari Radhe Brajajana Manna Sukha Kari Radhe Shama Murmukuttama Kada Krita Kundala Gale Vajanti Mala Charanam Nupura Rasala Radhe Shama Shama Sham Charanam Nupura Rasala Radhe Shama Mohana Bamsi Bihari Radha Krishna Niliya Vado Gaura Rupa Avatari Radha Krishna Niliya Vado Gaura Rupa Avatari Kirtan Dharma Prachari Radhe Shama Shama So this little Braj Bhajan just takes us straight to Vrindavan. Very simple bhajan. Brajajan. Brajajan means the people of Braj, the Brijvasis. Just like you're all the Kerala Jan. And probably a few Tamil Jan are here, maybe. No, you're all Vaishnavas, so you're Bhaktajan. Brajajana man means the heart. Brajajana mana Sukhakari, who delights the hearts of all of the Brishvasis. And who is that who delights the hearts of all the Brishvasis? Radhesham Shama Sham. Om Jnana-Timirandasya Ganandana Shalakaya Chaksurum Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manubhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Tadati Svapadam Nigam Aradana Srinandandai Vridam Yache Puna Puna Srimad Rupa Padam Bhujo Dulisyam Janmajanmani Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Panchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So first of all, we offer our most humble, prostrated obeisances at the lotus feet of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who spread this Krishna consciousness all over the entire planet. In the old days, they used to say that the sun never sets on the British Empire. Even this was part. But now, the British Empire is finished. Only a little island off the side of Europe. But by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, now we can say that the sun never sets on the chanting of the holy name. It's like we're having this program here in Kerala, and probably a little while ago in London they were having Mangalarti, and very soon New York also, probably Mangalarti already going on in New York, then after some time in Dallas, then after some time in my hometown, Los Angeles, then in Japan, and then in Indonesia, Malaysia, and finally back here again we'll have Mangalarti in Mayapur. So like that, now the sun never sets on the chanting of the holy name by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So we'll tell one nice pastime of Srila Prabhupada to begin our program. There's one time, like we heard, I joined in a place called Boulder, Colorado, right at the foot of the Rocky Mountains. And we heard that there was going to be Rath Yatra in San Francisco, but we knew that Prabhupada was in LA. From LA first he would go, then second he would go to San Francisco. So we all drove out to LA. And it just so happened that we got there the first morning that Prabhupada ordered that the Govinda prayers, the beautiful song by Jamuna, my dear departed god sister Jamuna, Govinda prayers. So he ordered that at Darshan Artik this prayer should be played. And this was the first morning. What we did before that, I've racked my poor brain, but now I'm too old, I can't remember what we did for Darshan Artik before that. But nowadays, every day all over the world, we listen to Jamuna singing that beautiful prayer. So in the old temple room in Los Angeles, which now they have the Fate, now is where the Fate Museum is, and where the temple is another place. But at that time it was where the Fate Museum was, and there was a little door in the back of the temple room that went up to Prabhupada's rooms. So he would come down, that door would open, and we would stand on both sides, and right up against the wall, because the wall was here, and it was right at the edge. So Prabhupada would come in, and then he would pay his obeisance to Gornitai, then he would take Charnamrita, and he paid the obeisance. At that time we didn't have the big Radhakrishna deities, we just had little Radhakrishna. Then he paid obeisance to Jagannath, and then in the back of the temple room he'd sit on the Vyasasana. So Prabhupada came in, and As soon as he walked in, they opened up the curtains and the Govinda prayers began to play. And Prabhupada came, he prostrated before Gornitai. Then there was a little marble column with a silver bowl on top with a Charnamrit. So he took Charnamrit, then he paid obeisances to Radha and Krishna. That was the second altar. Then he would pay his prostrated obeisance to Lord Jagannath. Then he came back and he sat down on the Vyasasana and he began to sing along with the tune. Govindam Maripurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Maripurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Suddenly we noticed that from Prabhupada's eyes, tears were streaming down his face. And we all felt embarrassed to be in front of the pure devotee when he's feeling symptoms of ecstasy. Because you don't want to know about us. We crashed Chitragupta's hard drive trying to keep track of our simple activity. So we wanted to peel up the tiles on the floor and crawl underneath. And tears are just streaming down and Prabhupada was just chanting and moving his head so sweetly. Then he just wiped his face like that, and he made a big snort. I can't do it. A big like that into the microphone. And at that time, that must be 1970, I guess, or 71. At that time, Prabhupada was teaching us Isopanishad mantras. So he just rubbed his face, cleared his nose, and then he began to chant. Om Purnam Madaha Purnam Idam Purnat Purnam Mudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Mevavashishate. So like that, Prabhupada he was singing with such a deep, rich voice. Prabhupada's voice was so wonderful. Even George Harrison said, I never heard such a voice as Srila Prabhupada's, and he was rocking back and forth, Om Purnam Mada Purnam Idam Purnat Purnam. And I just felt, he was going back and forth. It was like we're on the boat just going across this ocean of Kali. And Srila Prabhupada is our captain. He was just like an old sea captain, taking us across the ocean of Kali. Then Prabhupada would teach us another verse, and then he'd go back and continue where he left off in the purport of the first verse, lecturing about Isopanishad mantras. At that time, even we would sing it on Nam Sankirtan. We go on the street, we would sing Isha Vasha Midam Sarva. We would sing on Nam Sankirtan also. And that reminds me of a story that happened here in Bharatvarsh. Because about that same time, Prabhupada took 100 devotees and brought them to Bharat for the first time. And we got the word that Prabhupada wanted 100 brahmacharis. I'd already become a grihastha, so I couldn't go, but they closed down the temple where I was and merged us into LA temple, and so they could send brahmacharis to. But not just brahmacharis went. One of that first group was a very dear god sister named Kaushalya. And when there was the 40th anniversary of Juhu Temple, because she's one of the original devotees there, they gave her a ticket and brought her to Juhu to take part. She told this story. Because they were traveling around with Prabhupada and they came to Surat. And you've probably seen the picture of the devotees singing in the streets, completely covered up to their noses with marigold garlands. So there's the one girl, she always looks Indian. She had olive-colored skin, she was darker than most Americans. With a sweet smile, that was Kaushalya. So they told us that was Surat. After Surat, they went to some village. Now, they were camped there in some small village, and she was just like 16 or 17 years old. She wasn't very old, very young. She was very young. So she wanted some, everybody wanted attention from Prabhupada. So she just went up to Prabhupada and said, "Oh, Swamiji," those days we called him Swami, "I know whole Isopanishad mantra by heart." Huh? And Prabhupada said, "That's nice." So then there was a Pandal program in the evening. Now in the city, there's so much distraction, bars, restaurants, cinema, this, that, so many things. But in the village, what do you do in the village? You listen to the grass grow. There's nothing to do in the evening. And 100, white-skinned devotees have come. This was a big news those days. We were Prabhupada's dancing white elephants. Just like yesterday we saw the big elephant at Guru Vayor. So we were Prabhupada's dancing white elephants. So since in the village there's no distraction, everybody came. There was 70,000 people in this Pandal program. And Prabhupada was lecturing. All of a sudden he broke into English. And he said, "And I have one lady disciple. She can chant whole Isopanishad mantra by heart." And Kasali went, "Oh my God, why did I ever tell him?" And then he announced it in Hindi. And then he turned and looked at Kaushalya, and she walked out and looked at 70,000 faces staring at her. And she shut her eyes and stood there in front of the microphone, and she chanted I can't remember, 16 or 17 verses of Isopanishad. She chanted the whole thing. And afterwards, Prabhupada called her, just like a grandfather with a granddaughter. He called her over. He pulled her over the edge of his Vyasasan, practically in his lap, and he was rubbing her on the back as she pulled it off for him. This is such a sweet story we'd never heard before. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So I saw when we came in here, this is called Gita Yoga, what?
Gita Yoga Center.
Gita Yoga Center, where we're studying Gita. And very first gift of Bhagavad Gita is that we're not this body. And Krishna gives so many simple examples. Just like everybody knows that verse. Dehe nosminyata dehe komaram yavanam jara tathadhyantara prapti virastatra namuyate. Just like we're moving from boyhood to youth to old age. Komaram jovanam jara. Jara means old age. We preached about it our whole life, and now we're getting the sakshat experience. So one time we had a little baby body that our mother used to hold in her arms like that. And although I still look, even then, I would look in the mirror when I was a little boy and I'd say, "That's me." When I was, 7 or 8, then I looked in the mirror, I still said, "That's me." And I was running around, climbing trees, catching lizards, and snakes, and doing so many things, getting a bicycle. Then when I was 15, at 15 and a half, you get your learner's permit in America. Then we were interested in cars. So our minds changed. It was like when we were 5 years old, we used to think, "Oh my God, girls are the worst thing that God ever created." But suddenly we turned 15 and 16 and we thought, "Oh, this is a very nice thing." Our mind changed. Our body changed, our mind changed, everything changed. But I still look in the mirror and I said, "That's me." Now forget about bicycles, we want a nice car, and we want to paint it with flames coming out of the bonnet, and we want to put nice chrome reverse wheels and so many things. Then later we're busy going to school and getting qualified and getting a job and making money and starting a family, and we still looked in the mirror and said, that's me. And now I'd just like to get out of the car. We had Prabhuji pull us out of the car, before we were running around and climbing trees now. Those are just a dream. But I still look in the mirror and said, that's me. And now all that nice black hair is all turned white. Silver, I say. We still say, I'm me, that's me. So though the body keeps changing, something is remaining there. So Krishna says, so then it's easy to understand that when the body is no longer useful, just like when our car finally, we've driven it into the ground, it's not that we're finished, the car's finished. We get in another car. And if we treated our car nicely, we can sell it for a nice price and get a better car. If we didn't, we just ran it to the ground, then we don't get anything. So same way, so that we'll get it. It's not that we've ended, but the car is ended, and we get another vehicle, because this body is just a vehicle for the soul. Just like sometimes we can understand, we're riding in the bus, and the bus is coming to the corner, and he's going to make a turn. But some cars are parked too close to the corner, so the bus is going to scrape. And what do? Isn't it? We've been sitting in the bus for so long, we've identified ourselves with the bus. We've identified ourselves with the car, with the vehicle. The bus is going to get scratched. We're not going to feel anything, but we go. So by these simple examples, we can understand that we're not this body. We're the spirit soul, and we're part and parcel of Krishna. And our business, just like this business of the hand, is to serve the whole body. If the hand decides, no, I'm going to enjoy the dosa all by myself, maybe he gets some perverted pleasure from squeezing it in his hand, but gradually the whole body will suffer and become sick. But if he gives it to the stomach, then the energy is distributed to the whole body. So the same way, when we try to enjoy this world ourselves, then we get frustrated. But when we act in harmony with Krishna, and try to serve Krishna, and dedicate everything to Krishna, then automatically we become happy. Because that is the natural position of the soul, the servant of Krishna. So this is the first gift of Bhagavad Gita. Now there's one place in Braj, just like we say Vrindavan, but actually the whole area is called Braj. And since Vrindavan is the main forest, we call the whole, he represents all there's 12 forests. He represents all the 12 forests of Vrindavan. And 5 forests are on the eastern bank of Jamuna. Bhadravan, Bandirvan, Belvan, Lohavan, and Gokul Mahavan. 5. And on the western bank of the Jamuna, there's 7 forests. Madhuvan, Thalavan, Kabudvan, Bahulavan, the biggest, Vrindavan, Kamivan, so far away in the west that it's in Rajasthan, and one tiny forest called Kedarvan. 7 and 5, 12 forests. So one of those forests is Gokul. And we were just staying in South Vrindavan. And they have a beautiful diorama there of the Damodar Leela. Because Gokul is the place where the Damodar Leela happened. This is one of the last pastimes of Gokul. Because after those twin Arjun trees came crashing down, then they decided this place isn't safe and they moved off to Vrindavan and finally settled in Nandagram. So that place in Gokul is called Ukal Bandhan. In fact, I'm sure you all know Bir Krishna Prabhu. So he was trying to fix that place up. But as per usual in Braj, there's so many people in the family and they're all fighting and nobody can agree. So his work has stopped, but he started a nice place there. Anyway, this place is called Ukal Bandhan. Ukal means the grinding mortar. And Bandhan, of course, means to bind, to bound up, to tie over the rope. So what happened was Mother Yasoda was getting tired that everybody's coming and complaining that my Lala's eating, stealing their butter, milk and yogurt. And Mother Yasoda, she thought, must be that the girls are not properly making the butter. Why he'll go to someone else's house to steal butter? My Patidev, Nanda Baba, he has 9 lakhs of cows. Do you know what 1 lakh, Lala? You don't know what 1 lakh means? What does it mean?
1 lakh means
100,000. So 9 lakhs means almost 1 megabyte. Huh? So दूध, दही, मक्खन, ये सब घी के बराबर, ये सब नदी के बराबर हमारा घर पर बैठी रहती है. Why he'll go to someone else's house to steal? Must be the girls are not making it properly. So tomorrow's Diwali, because this pastime happened on Diwali day, that's why the whole month has become known as Damodar. So tomorrow's Diwali, I will give all the girls chutti, day off. And I personally will make the butter. Then he won't have to go anywhere to steal. So that night, Mother Yasoda got the best milk from the cow called Padma Ganda. Her milk is as fragrant as a lotus flower. So she took that milk and she heated it up, and then she put some little bit of dahi to make it into yogurt. Because in Braj, we don't scrape the cream off and turn that into butter. We take the whole milk, turn it into yogurt, and then we turn it into butter. Benna, huh? You say benna, huh?
Benna, yes.
So she made from that Padma Ganda's milk, she made this nice pot of yogurt. So next morning, Diwali day, she wants to churn that yogurt into butter. Now all the mothers know, and those of you going to be mothers someday, you'll learn very quickly, you can't get anything done around the house as long as the children are awake. Is it? All the mothers are laughing, they know. So Mother Yasoda, singing sweet lullabies, she put Krishna to sleep. Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. So when Krishna was sound asleep, then she took the yogurt and she poured it into a big pot, very thick pot, because this pot has a churning rod inside with all these little spokes, and so it has to be very thick, otherwise you'll break it. It's a big, thick pot, churning pot. And there's 2 ropes that you tie to the wall, and then a 3rd rope you twirl around like that, and then prrr, 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 prrr. She was churning the yogurt into butter. So this sound is almost like this mridanga. Prrr, prrr, prrr. And Mother Yasoda, she has so many bangles. I always feel so unhappy when I go to the West. Nobody wears bangles. With this story, I made so many converts. But she has so many bangles. Indian ladies, they can't go out of the house without their bangles. So all those bangles going ching, 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 just like this Kirtan. And Mother Yasoda, she was singing the names of her Lala. Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. So Mridanga is there, Kartal is there, Krishna Nam is there. This is Nam Sankirtan. And this is Vatsalya Prem Nam Sankirtan. Prabhupada said, as soon as you chant Hare Krishna, then Radha Krishna go, oh, someone is singing your name. And Prabhupada told us the secret is, you chant with so much love that Radha and Krishna will say, oh, someone is singing with so much love. Let us go and see who it is. That's just our ordinary chanting. Now Mother Yasoda, she's chanting in Vatsalya Prem. How Lala is going to sleep when this Vatsalya Prem Kirtan is going on? So immediately he woke up. But his bed is very high, very tall, and he is very small. So he looked all around. He couldn't see how to get down. So finally, he pushed his legs over the very end of the bed. But he can't touch. And now he's pushed himself down so far, he doesn't have the strength to pull himself back up. He's stuck. He began to cry and kick his legs. But brrr, brrr, ching, ching. Mother Yasoda can't hear him crying. So finally, he let go. And he came down. And he came running into Mother Yasoda's butter churning room. And that person who's turning the hearts of everyone in the whole universe, he began to try to stop the churning rod of Mother Yasoda. And Mother Yasoda saw it, she said, oh, he must be hungry. So she set him in her lap and she began to feed him milk from her very own breast. And Mother Yasoda was just seeing this beautiful face. We can imagine the fortune of Mother Yasoda. Krishna in his most attractive form as Gopal, sitting in her lap, drinking milk from her own breast. And we can imagine her good fortune. All we can say is, Mother Yasoda ki jai. And she was seeing that beautiful moon-like face. And she's seeing little drops of milk are spilling from the sides, bloop, bloop, like little pearl drops. Bloop, bloop, bloop. And some teeth is starting to come. She was just seeing this wonderful scene. She just forgot everything. She even forgot that in the kitchen there's some milk on the stove for making the sweets. She's boiling to make the sweets for Lala. She completely forgot. So we read in Srimad Bhagavatam that milk began to boil over. But our acharyas in their commentaries, they've explained that actually what happened was that milk was thinking that Mother Yasoda, she has the perfection of life. Krishna is in her lap drinking milk from her breast. And she has unlimited love for Lala. And Lala has unlimited love for her. She will go on giving milk, he will go on drinking milk, she will go on giving, he will go on drinking. This will go on forever. We'll never get offered to Krishna. So then Milk decided to suicide himself by jumping into the fire. So suddenly Mother Yasoda, we all know that smell. She smelled that smell. So she just threw Krishna on the ground. Actually, I should say she tried to throw Krishna on the ground. Because one time when Prabhuji was telling, I lived in Colombia, South America, and we used to have a farm, and on that farm we had a monkey. And if that monkey got on your shoulder, you couldn't get him off, As soon as you tried to take, he liked to stay there, just by your shoulder, Then he put his tail around your neck, he put one foot on your one arm and one foot on another arm and another foot. All his 4 feet he could grab, pull your sika or your braid, You couldn't get him down. So Krishna was like that. He put his feet around Mother Yasoda's arm. He grabbed her choti. He grabbed her sari. Anyhow, Mother Yasoda put him on the ground and she ran to the kitchen. And we heard that she pulled some of the wood out and sprinkled some water to make the milk go down. But our acharyas have explained in their commentaries that what happened was that milk was seeing that Mother Yasoda, she has the perfection of life. But she's not interested in her own happiness. She's interested in the Vaishnavas, in the devotees. As milk is a devotee who's going to be offered to Krishna as sweets. So seeing Mother Yasoda's extraordinary love for the Vaishnavas, that milk jumped back into the pot. Because in Nectar Devotion, Prabhupada writes that Krishna, he says, that person who says he's my devotee, I don't know who he is. But who says he's a devotee of my devotee, he's my devotee. So we should learn to serve Vaishnavas. It's very important in our devotional life. We should serve, we should always, that's why Prabhupada taught us, you call each other Prabhu. It means that servant, a master, so we should feel ourselves as servant. So that milk jumped back into the pot. Meanwhile, Krishna was thinking, he became very angry. That I was drinking milk so peacefully from my Mother Yasoda, and she just threw me on the ground and ran away. What rascal thing I can do? So he saw this pot, this churning pot. But like I said, that's a very thick pot. But in the kitchen, we have a very heavy stone for grinding the spices and grinding the palak to make palak paneer and like that. That's a very heavy stone. So he got that stone from the kitchen and pow! He knocked a big hole in the pot. And all the half-churned butter and milk and whey came out all over the place. Then Krishna, uh-oh, I'm going to get in big trouble. So he ran out of the kitchen. On his way out of the kitchen, he saw in the storeroom so much butter hanging there from the day before. So he went into the storeroom, but he's very small, and the pots are hanging very tall. So he pulled that ukkal over, he climbed on top of that ukkal, he untied the pot, he brought it down, and he ran outside to eat his butter. And he's eating all this butter. And anybody who's been to our North Vrindavan, because we were very amazed, in our South Vrindavan, only monkey we saw was made of cement. But if you've been to Vrindavan, if you have something eatable, who comes? Monkeys. What do you say, Kangan? Huh? Korangan. So all the monkeys came. So then Krishna thought, in my last avatar as Lord Ram, these monkeys gave so much service. They helped me so much. I didn't give them anything. At least this time, let me give them a little butter. So he began to feed milk to makhan, to all the monkeys. Meanwhile, Mother Yasoda came back and she saw a big hole in the butter churning pot. And you don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to figure it out. There's these little buttery footprints that go out of the butter churning room. These little buttery footprints go into the storage room. Little buttery footprints on the ukkal. Little buttery footprints out to the courtyard. So on the way to the courtyard, she grabbed a stick. What has this little rascal done? So Krishna, he's feeding all the monkeys. He has his back to Mother Yasoda. So he can't see, but those monkeys can see. Now those of you who've been to our Vrindavan, then you see that all of us who live there permanently, we always carry a stick. Because that monkey will come, he'll sit on your shoulder before you know anything, grab your glasses, and jump on top of the wall. And you can yell, you can scream, you can shake your hands, but he knows he's out of reach. He'll just sit there, and you just don't exist. But if you have a stick, then he throws those glasses and he runs away. So all those monkeys saw Mother Yasoda coming with the stick. So they all went, they all ran up the tree. Then Krishna turned around. He saw Mother Yasoda's coming with the stick. So he began running all around the courtyard. And he's running here and there all around the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. And Mother Yasoda's right behind. But Mother Yasoda's hips are very big. Her breasts are very swollen. She can't run so fast as this little Lala. But she's right behind him. Then Lala saw that my Mother Yasoda, she's laboring so much. So he let her catch him. But then he's rubbing his eyes, he's smearing his kajal all over his face. He said, "Don't beat me, Maya, don't beat me, Maya. Maya, I'll be good, don't beat me, Maya." So then Mother Yasoda, he's too afraid of that stick. It's not good. So she threw that stick away. And Lala said, "I'll be good, Maya, I won't do it again, I'll be good, Maya." Mother Yasoda said, "All right, I'm going to forgive you." We didn't hear that in Bhagavatam, but in our acharyas have explained that Mother Yasoda forgave him, but she said, "You have done 2 offenses. One was to break the butter pot. That was a very naughty thing to do. But I'm going to forgive you for that one. But this stealing, if you grow up to become a thief, in your later life you'll get so much trouble, so I'm going to punish you from that so you'll learn a lesson." And your accomplice in this thievery was this Ukkal. So I'm going to tie the both of you together. So she took some rope and she put it all around the Ukkal and she came around Krishna's udar, his waist, but his 2 fingers too short. And she got some more ropes and tied them all together, and again, 2 fingers too short. And again she got more ropes, and she tied them all together, and still 2 fingers too short. Now all of her older gopi friends came, and they're watching Mother Yasoda, and they all began to laugh. "Are Maya, in the morning you tied a little string, black string around his waist. Now with all this rope you can't tie him up?" Because you go to, at least in northern Bharat, and all the little children, they put a little black string, to save them from bad things, With a little string you tied him up, now with all this rope. But Mother Yasoda is angry. Angry means Rajagun. Can we tie up Krishna with Rajagun? We can't tie him up with Sattvagun. Because Mother Yasoda is angry. Then all her friends began to laugh. And Mother Yasoda got all these little ropes that we tied the back legs of the cows with. Now we drove all around this Srirandam and we never saw a cow. So I don't know if you know, there's an animal called a cow. Because even my godbrother Guru Kripa, he always thought milk comes in the store in a carton. And my mother buys it, he never knew it came from the cow. But there's an animal called a cow, and she has an udder like this with so many teeth, and you squeeze like this and the milk comes out. Now you may pinch too hard, and then she'll kick, and then the bucket, milk, everything goes flying. So we have these little ropes that we tie around the legs like that, and if you pinch, then she can't kick. So she got all of those ropes, and she tied it, everybody's laughing. Then Mother Yasoda, she began to laugh. As soon as she laughed, she transcended all the modes of nature, and boom, she was able to tie this knot. Because those 2 fingers, one is our endeavor, other is Krishna's mercy. Prabhupada told us for every step you take towards Krishna, Krishna takes 10 toward you. So these 2 fingers are our endeavor and Krishna's mercy. So then she went back to clean up the big mess. Meanwhile, all the cowherd boys came with Balaram. And Balaram saw Krishna all tied up like this. And, wait a minute, we're getting a little ahead. Then what happened? was Krishna thought, now this Maya, what has she done? She chased me with a stick, now she's tied me up like this. Huh? Oh, the first the cowherd boys came. Yeah, the cowherd boys came. And Balaram, he was so upset. He said, Lala, Kanhaiya, who did this? Who did this, Kanhaiya? I will burn them to ashes. Because we know Balaram in his form as Anantashesh, he burns the whole universe. I will burn them to ashes. And Lala said, Maya, Maya did this? What did you do? I didn't do nothing. If Maya tied you up like this, I'm not getting involved. Then he said, hey, Sridham, Madi, oh, Batuka, you come. He calls Madhumangal Batuka. Batuka means young Brahmin boy. Oh, Batuka, come here. Just like we sing sometimes, Batu Dvijaraj. Huh? So, Madhumangal says, look, you guys always make the plan, you guys execute the plan, and then you guys all run away, and I'm lame. I get stuck behind. I'm the one that gets in trouble. Now you're in trouble. I'm happy. Oh, Sridham, Subal, come on. So all the cowherd boys, they try to untie this knot. Now this knot is tied with Vatsalya Prem. And cowherd boys are in Sakya Prem. This Sakya Prem is not strong enough to untie this Sakya Prem knot. The Krishna says, all right, you guys are useless. Forget it. What are you doing? You're making it tighter or you're untying it? He said, get out of the way. So then he saw these two Arjun trees. We know the history behind them. We don't have time tonight. Nalakuver and Manigriva, they were cursed. So he crawled in between those two trees and the mortar turned topsy-turvy and got stuck. So then he put one foot on one tree, another foot on the other tree, and he pulled. But just by the touch of Krishna's feet, they were already liberated. And these two Arjun trees came crashing down. I found one tiny baby Arjun tree near your South Vrindavan. We used to go walking every day. But ordinarily they're very, very tall. And they have, just like you see the banyan trees have the roots hanging down. These have the roots that come out from the trunk like this. I call it rocket fin roots. It's just like they get so big. They start from over your head and snake into the ground like this on all the sides, 4, 5, or 6 of them. They have a heavy root system. Just like I went to Mauritius in the middle of the Indian Ocean, and cyclones come through there, blow everything away. But all the roads have these old ancient Arjun trees, because even 150 km per hour wind doesn't knock them over. So this pastime became more sweet by going to Mauritius. Because Lala, he knocked over 2, and 150 km per hour wind can't even knock over 1. So these trees came crashing down. But the trees on either side and Krishna is in the middle safe. So Nanda Baba, he heard this sound. He came running from the fields. And he saw Krishna sitting in between these two huge Arjun trees. How did they fall down? Like I said, they're very difficult to knock over. How did 2 of them have fallen down? How is this possible? But Nanda Baba, he's in Vatsalya Prem. He immediately untied that knot and Krishna jumped into his arms. He said, Lala, who did this? He said, Maya. What did you do? Baba, I didn't do nothing. What did you do, Lala? I didn't do nothing, Baba. Mother Yasoda, she also heard this horrible sound. She came running with her arms stretched out. And Lala saw her coming and he hit his head in this side. And Maya came on this side and he hit his head on this side. And she came this side and he hit like that. And then crying like a cow who's lost her calf, Mother Yasoda went running to her room. And Baba said, Lala, you go to your Maya. No, I don't want to see this Maya. She chased me with a stick. She tied me up. I don't want to see her. But then Lala, who's going to heat up your milk and put you to rest tonight? He said, you, Baba. And in the morning, who's going to wake you up with sweet lullaby? He said, tu, Baba. And who's going to bathe and dress you? He said, true, Baba. I don't want to see this Maya. So then Nanda Baba, he took Lala home. He gave him a bath. He heated up the milk. He gave him the milk. He said, now Lala, you go to sleep. He said, no, Baba, you tell a story. He said, no, Lala, you go to sleep. No, Baba, I won't go to sleep till you tell a story. But Nanda Baba said, all right. One time, there was a great big demon named Hiranyakashipu. And even though he was a demon, his son was a great devotee, Prahlad Maharaj. And he tried to make his son into a demon. He had his teachers teach him everything, how to be a demon. But instead, when the teachers were out, he would get all his friends to chant Hare Krishna and become devotees. So he called Prahlad and he said, Prahlad, what is the best thing you learned in the school? He said, in your school I didn't learn anything. But the best thing I know is hearing and chanting and remembering Vishnu, observing his lotus feet, worshipping him, and making friends with him and surrendering everything to him. Surrendering to Vishnu, our enemy, you rascal. And he told everyone, kill this boy. And they tried to throw him under an elephant, but the elephant put him on his back and took him for a victory ride. They tried to throw him from a high mountain, but all the rocks turned into cushions, and he came down and bounced like this. They put him in a bath of boiling oil. It became cool. The demons tried to hit him with their weapons, but their weapons turned around against them in so many ways. And Hiranyakashipu became furious. He said, Prahlad, where do you get your power? He said, Baba, I get my power from the same place, from the Lord. From the Lord? Where is this Vishnu? Oh, Baba, he's everywhere. He's everywhere? Yes, Baba. Is he here? Is he here? Then he said, is he in this pillar here? Oh, Baba, he's everywhere. Yes. I'll show you your Vishnu. And he took his fist and he smashed that pillar with his fist. And a huge roar went through the whole universe, and everyone was frightened in the whole universe. Even Hiranyakashipu began to tremble. And all of a sudden, Lala jumped on the bed and he pretended to be Nrsingadev, ripping Hiranyakashipu apart. And Baba said, how does he know the end of this story? I never told this story before. All right, Lala, you take rest. So the next morning, Baba got him out of bed. He bathed him. He dressed him. He fed him his breakfast. Then Mother Rohini came. And Mother Rohini started to talk. And she said, Mother Yasoda is about to leave her body. As soon as those words left her lips, Lala, he ran from the prasad room. He ran into Mother Yasoda's room. He jumped into Mother Yasoda's lap. Yasoda Damodar ki jai. So this is the Damodar pastime as it happened in this place in Gokul called Ukkal Bandhu. And you can go there. They have a thing. There's some carved stone there. They claim to be the grinding mortar. But anyway, they have nice little shrine of Radha Damodar there, and they have this little shrine where they have the original grinding mortar and so many things. And very nice place. And if you ask, they will give you some braj rotis. Because they don't know how to make dosa and all these things, they make rotis like this. And buttermilk, chach. Hare Krishna. So what time is it? I don't see any clock. Oh, there he is. So anybody has any questions, either about anything I said or any other question, I can try to answer them. By the way, then we'll end with a very nice kirtan. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, like the more I try to practice one thing, the more I'm realizing I'm like contaminated with lust and so many other girls, and sometimes it looks hopeless. And how to gain that hope and come out of this?
Maybe not just you, me, everybody has same experience. Huh? But the Brishvasis, they have one little saying that gives us some hope. What did they say in Brishvasa? Kara kara kabhyase jarmati hota sajan rasari avata javate shilpar pari nishan. Just like Arjuna, he asked the same question to Krishna. He says, why this lust is overcoming me? How to overcome it? Krishna says, abhyas, practice. So the Brishvasis say, kara kara kabhyase, by doing abhyas, practice, even jarmati means like jarbharat, dull-witted fellow. Jarmati hotu sajan. Sajan in northern India means gentleman. Kara kara kabhyase, jarmati hotu sajan. Just like in British literature, we have one play called My Fair Lady. And there was one lady, she spoke English very poorly. The Rhine and spine rhymes mildly in the pline, mate. And this fellow took her and he trained her, abhyas, practice and practice, till she could say, the rain in Spain rains mainly in the plain. So karakabhyase jarmati hosajan. What is the proof? Rasari avadajava. Rasa means the rope. Rope is very soft. We're bringing it from the well. It's going in the water, getting even softer. But every well we go, because sometimes we go some places in Braj, there's no tap. There's only well. And every well there's stones and there's grooves in those stones. And it's not that anybody came with a chimney and went ping, 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 ping. That rope cut those things. Wait a minute. Rope is very soft, it's going in the water, becoming softer. Stone is very hard. There's no hope to cut the stone with the rope. But avata javata, shil parpari, nishan. Shil on the stone, nishan, the mark is there. Avata javata. So same way, our heart, it seems like hopeless. But avata javata, practice. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Hare. It seems like hopeless, but even this hard, stone-like heart will be cut. And just like everywhere, we're seeing some elephants here. So when I was a little kid, I used to cut up my father's National Geographic magazines for all my school projects. When I got big, then I realized how much it must have hurt him. But he knew I was learning something, so he tolerated it. But anyway, so there was one time an article about the elephants in India, because in those days, 50 years ago, this is 50, 60 years ago, they used them in the train yards, to push the cars and load the cars. And it said they take a small elephant and they tie a chain around his foot and they put a big stake into the ground. And he runs around and around and around until his leg is bloody. And he understands that when they put this thing, I can't move. Now you see, he's lifting logs onto the train car. And they put a little peg in the ground and a chain, and he just stands there. Because he gave up trying. He gave up trying. Just like sometimes there's a fire, then all of a sudden he just rips that stake and he runs, So as long as we're chanting, associating with devotees, hearing the classes, associating with Vaishnavas, serving Vaishnavas, we're growing in Krishna consciousness. One day we'll take that stake of lust and anger and greed and throw him far away. Just keep trying. It's like now my godbrothers were all getting heart attacks and things like that. All of a sudden somebody was a little, in Brazil we say, no, that's Spanish. No, I can't. Dīna, as we say, it's Brajvasa. Become a little loose in their sadhana. All of a sudden they get a heart attack. All of us are Hare Krishna, then we get very serious. Don't wait. Just keep trying. And don't give up. Because that if he gave up, he just put this, what's that little chain? He's lifting whole log. And this little chain is nothing, but he gave up. So just keep associating with devotees and keep on trying. Yes?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, I want to understand what is the glories of Radha Kund. You might be the best person to tell me.
Oh, we're just writing a whole book on Govardhan, so Radha Kund comes. That will take us forever, but anyway.
Little bit from your voice.
Hmm?
Little you just share us your views about that, Radha Kund.
Well, Radha Kund is not different. It's actually the melted prem of Krishna and Radha formed together. It's not different from Krishna and Radha. And so it's the most sacred place. It says in Rupa Goswami's one book is there, Mathura Mahatma, and he says that the highest place in all existence is Mathura, because there Krishna appears. And in Mathura Mandala, the highest place is Vrindavan. Because in Vrindavan, Krishna displays so many wonderful loving pastimes with so many loving relationships, friend and mother and father and Madhurya Ras also, everything. And in Vrindavan, the best place is Govardhan. Because Krishna held Govardhan on his hand for 7 days and 7 nights. He performed so many intimate pastimes in the caves of Govardhan. Even Krishna says Govardhan's not different than me. So for Mahaprabhu, he never walked. Following Mahaprabhu, we never walk. Other people go, but we don't go. And in Govardhan, the highest place is Radhakund. So in the entire universe, the highest place is Radhakund. And this water is non-different from Srimati Radharani, melted form of Srimati Radharani. So then the question comes about bathing in Radhakund. The first time was before I came to Vrindavan. I learned from my older godbrothers who were there when Prabhupada, I was never there except for the Mayapur festival, Mayapur Vrindavan festival those days. But they all explain that the first time Prabhupada took them on Trikama, they came to Radhakund, and Prabhupada with his cane said, "This is Radhakund." Everybody just ripped off their cloth and into their bathing costumes and jumped in the water. And the only thing Prabhupada did, because everybody just, this is Radhakund, they forgot their bodies and everything, they just jumped in the water, and Prabhupada with his cane, he was separating that the ladies should go on one side and the gents should go on the other side. That's all he said. But being frivolous Westerners, we would come, we would do cannonballs, backflips, and we'd jump and splash and all kinds of crazy things. So when Prabhupada heard that, he said, "You're kicking Srimati Radharani." So for many years, nobody took bath in Radha. We would just go, take some drops on our head, bas. But you can, I did a lot of research in the Vedabase in, was it May of 77?
Yeah.
May of 77, this is a few months before Prabhupada disappeared. Huh?
No. Sorry. 3 days before.
It was just before Govardhan Puja. Because there was some talk that it's Govardhan Puja, that's right, just, it must have been October. It's October, just before Prabhupada disappeared. So Prabhupada wanted to go on Govardhan Trikama. Somehow everybody knew, even Krishnadas Baba came, as the, his godbrother Krishnadas Baba. He said, the road is very bad. Even if you go on a bullock cart, it'll just be rocking. Your body is you wait till you're strong again, and then you go. Anyhow, they convinced Prabhupada not to go. So Prabhupada said, but all the devotees should go. So then Tamal was talking about how they'll go here and they'll go there. And then Prabhupada said, yes, you take Babaji Maharaj. Babaji Maharaj will be my going. It was very sweet because now they've translated the Bengali, because actually we didn't know what was going on. but because Tamal was crying that, Prabhupada, the doctors have said, I can't sleep, we're so worried about you. And Prabhupada says to Babaji Maharaj, he said, Babaji, you see how much they love me? How can I put them in anxiety? It was all in Bengali, but now it's been translated. So then Prabhupada decided not to go. He said, but Babaji Maharaj will go, that will be my going. And then he declared, you all go take bath in Radhakund on my behalf. So we can do Ritvik Snan in Radhakund on Prabhupada's behalf. You go very carefully. I know devotees who are fanatics, they crawl head first. But first you put some drops on your head before you touch your feet. But if you want, you can go ahead, crawl head first into the water. But very reverently, peacefully, you take your bath in Radhakund. That's my version of the final order. You all go take bath on my behalf. Hare Krishna. So we have a nice Brijbasa Kirtan that will end today. And this is dancing music, so you all stand up. Anyway, you won't be able to sit once you hear this Kirtan. So everyone please rise. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shri Vrindavan Jai Jai Shama, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Shama, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shama, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Gopi, Jai Jai Gopal, Jai Jai Sada Bihari Lal. Jai Jai Gopi, Jai Jai Gopal, Jai Jai Sada Bihari Lal. Jai Jai Gopi, Jai Jai Gopal, Jai Jai Sada Bihari Lal. Jai Jai Gopi, Jai Jai Gopal, Jai Jai Sada Govinda Govinda When we go on Govardhan Trikrama, first we take bath in Manasi Ganga, then we take darshan of Hari Dev, then Giri Baradari ki Prikrama Day. Then you do Govardhan Prikrama. Manasi Ganga, Sri Hari Dev, Giri Baradari ki Prikrama Day. Manasi Ganga, Sri Hari Dev, Giri Baradari ki Prikrama Day. Manasi Ganga, Sri Hari Dev, Giri Baradari ki Prikrama Day. Manasi Ganga, Sri Hari अपना जीवन सफल करे कुंड कुंड में गगन करे अपना जीवन सफल करे कुंड कुंड में गगन करे अपना जीवन सफल करे Hare Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananda Guri Vaishnavana ki, Sad Goswami Prabhu ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Prem se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki, Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Go, Shama Kund Radha Kund, Giri Govardhana ki, Brajabhumi Vrindavan Dham ki, Sri Navadip Mayapur Dham ki, Sri Jagannath Puri Dham ki, Tiruvananthapuram Dham ki, Jai Gaur Premanand, all glories to the Samadavari, all glories to the Samadavari, all glories to the Samadavari, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga, glories to you, Sri Prabhupada.
Jai! Jai!
आप सब लोग की बालरे नन्ही